Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Hey, this one is by request. I've had a few people suggest this. They want to know about healthcare in Cambodia. I'm going to divide this up into three sections. First of all, healthcare in general, and then I'll talk a bit about pharmacies, and I'll tell you the little bit I know about health insurance for expats, people who are coming over here to stay long term. But first, as always, I want to remind you that I have books for sale. I have a lot of good books. I got 5 of them. And if you want to read any of the books you see on your screen, well, you know what to do. There's a link down below. And you can get to all those by clicking that link. And as always, we can use your support. If you want to help support the channel, there are links down below for PayPal and Ko-Fi.com. And that's always very much appreciated. And healthcare is a good topic for this video because we just had something happen just a few days ago. I'll tell you all about that and how much it costs and everything. And it's a little cautionary tale for you. So if you can and if you want to help support the channel, those links are down below. Leave me your email address if you donate and I'll send you some stuff. And thank you. Alright, so just the other day, I went out to the store at night. It wasn't late at night, but it was dark. It was around 7:30. She wanted to go get herself one of those cans of sterilized milk that she loves to drink. And she had to walk through the dark alley, of course, because there's no lights in the alley. And she got bit by a dog. I'll put the picture up about right here. That's what her back of her leg looked like after the dog tried to take a big old chunk out of it. Yes, it broke the skin. She was bleeding a little bit. And so, of course, as per the usual, generally around here, the dogs, of course, they don't get vaccinated. They don't have any kind of certificates or anything. So you always got to be cautious of rabies. So she did have to go and take 3 consecutive rabies shots. The clinic she went to charged $10 per shot, and they also gave her a bunch of antibacterial cream to put over the bite marks. But she was not very fond of those shots. She was telling me how big those needles were for those shots. So yeah, all 3 shots cost 30 bucks. And while of course I was like, you know, there's better things to do with that money. Yeah, we did the right thing. Because of course, just to let you know, I've said this before, but if you get bit by an animal or scratched by an animal, you know, a dog or a cat, and it breaks the skin and it draws blood, you're just going to have to bite the bullet and get that done, because you never know. Even if the dog looks fine, looks like it doesn't have rabies, you just can't tell. And that's something you don't want to mess with, because of course you will die if you do get rabies and it's not taken care of. It's just the way it is. So yeah, but I mean, you know, back in the United States, that would have been like, I can't even imagine how much a rabies shots would cost back then, back there. But it would have been a lot more. So 10 bucks plus you got the cream and everything. That wasn't too bad. But healthcare in general in Cambodia, you know, Cambodia has a reputation for not having very good healthcare. And I think that's justified somewhat. It certainly could use improvement, but it's not as bad as people think for your general needs. You know, a lot of people will try to say it's so bad that if you twist your ankle here and go to a hospital, you're probably going to die from something. You know, and it's certainly not that bad. It's not like that at all. General healthcare I would break down into 3 sections. You got your non-emergencies. That would be for like twisted ankles, rashes, scratches. Maybe you get an infection, or you got a tummy ache, you got a headache. You know, you got all that. You know, non-emergency type things. And there's no need to leave the country or seek out any specialist or any specialized place when that happens. You can go to any clinic here. They are all over town. They're generally they'll give you the same treatment no matter which one you go to. Some look more professional on the outside, but for the most part, medicine's going to be the same. The treatment's going to be the same because they see that kind of thing all the time. And you show them a rash, they'll tell you what they think you got, and they'll give you the medicine for it. Really inexpensive. That's going to be like an out-of-pocket thing. I knew a guy that twisted his ankle, or sprained his ankle, I believe, and he went to a clinic, got that all taken care of for like $8 or something like that. So it's generally going to be very, very inexpensive to get your general aches, pains, and accidental things taken care of. Even broken bones. You know, you might want to go to a hospital, but you can go to a clinic and they'll know what to do there and do it pretty inexpensively. And then you got your surgeries, but maybe they're not life-threatening surgery. And yes, I know any surgery can be life-threatening. Things can and do happen. But I've known people that have hernia surgeries they got here, and other kind of minor type of surgeries, you know, outpatient or maybe just to stay overnight kind of deal. And those they'll take care of here pretty much for any condition, any kind of smaller thing like that. Really, the only time you really want to leave the country and find a hospital or a clinic that is more westernized would be for matters of life and death. If you need open heart surgery, I would definitely not recommend getting it done here. You know, and we'll talk about this in the insurance, but you might want to have an option for an airlift in your insurance if you get it, so that you can be airlifted to a hospital, probably in Thailand, where Bangkok has the more westernized, modern, up-to-date facilities. So if you have a history of heart problems and you're concerned about that, I'll talk about that when we get to the health insurance. But yeah, for most things you'll experience here, you'll be okay staying in country, going to a clinic. If you do need a hospital visit though, I can't recommend one personally. However, a lot of people recommend one called Japan Friend Hospital or Japanese Friend Hospital, something along that line. I can't remember exactly, but that's one a lot of people recommend. They speak good English, I guess. They're more up to date on all the modern technologies and procedures. So if you do need some kind of surgery, something not quite like a twisted ankle, but not quite life or death, you know, you can always check that place out, or any of the other provincial hospitals that are here in town. And if you don't have insurance, of course, that will be out of pocket. But again, it's not like back in the West, especially in the United States, where just walking into a hospital is probably going to bankrupt you. You know, even with a deductible. I had insurance at my last company I worked at, and it was horrible insurance. It was terrible. Couldn't even afford the what do you call it, the deduction or whatever. Yeah. So to me, I had to have it because that was part of the company policy, that you had to have insurance if you were a full-time employee. So But yeah, even the deductible was, I knew I was never going to use it. Let's put it that way. I mean, because back home, man, part of the restrictions they have, you know, when one of the pre-existing conditions is that you were born, that makes it a little bit harder to decide what you can and cannot do when it comes to that kind of thing. And by the way, the reason this is so shaky is because when I was filming that first part, my gimbal ran out of juice. So now I'm hand holding it, trying to be as careful as possible, but it is going to be a little shaky. I apologize, but got to get this video done. So yeah, general healthcare needs, don't worry about it. You're fine here. It's inexpensive. Pay out of pocket. You'll be okay. Now let's talk about pharmacies. You would be surprised at what you can buy over the counter here. Again, inexpensively, that you would not be able to. Yeah, he just ran over a bucket. What you would definitely need a prescription for, at least back where I come from. And you really shouldn't have too much of an issue finding most of the prescription medication that you might need or that you want. Now, it might not be the same brand name, but it will be the same mix of medicines. And you can find them at the pharmacy. And even the ones you can't find, they will get them in for you. They'll, if you're in Siem Reap, they don't have what you want at a pharmacy. They usually will try to get them from Phnom Penh. And if they can't get them there, they will import them from Thailand. Of course, the expense of that will be on you. That will make it a little more expensive, but for the most part, the medications you want or that you need are going to be available here. And even some that you might not have thought of, you can just walk into a pharmacy and buy them over the counter where you would need a prescription back home. So yeah, for all your medicational needs, there are pharmacies like this one all over town. And if one don't have it, don't just give up, go to another one. Pretty soon you'll find somebody that either has it or is able to get it for you. And of course, then we have health insurance. Health insurance, man, I don't know. To me, it kind of feels like a Ponzi scheme. It kind of feels like a racket. You know, people say things like, well, it's better to have it and not need it. And I'm like, you can say that about a lot of things, and that still doesn't make sense. I don't want something that I don't need. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, you can say that about, you know, anything. Hey, you know what I don't need? I don't need a stainless steel boning knife. Well, you never know, I might need it, so I might as well get it. You know, to me, that doesn't make sense. But I never discourage anyone from getting health insurance. You got to do what's best for you. And there are so many options. Just like if you were to Google car insurance, I mean, you are going to get so many options, you won't know what to do. So my advice to you for that would be to just Google Expat insurance in Cambodia, and you're going to come upon a whole list of sites, and some of them are going to be aggregator sites, and I would check out there first, because what they will do is you'll fill out a form on this site, and then you will receive emails from various companies that uses this service that fit your criteria, and you can then speak to representatives from those companies and choose the one that's best for you. Expat insurance is pretty pricey though. Could be an extra $200, $300, up to $600 a month, depending on what you get. You know how much of the good stuff you want. So there's not really a set price range. It's all dependent kind of like cost of living here. It's all dependent on you and how you live and what you like to do. But one thing I do want to mention is that most of these insurance companies do have an option for emergency airlift. I believe you can get it once a year for the extra premium. And if you are concerned about that, if you have a history of heart disease or you had a heart attack or something in the past and you want to feel safe, definitely check out that option. It will be more expensive per month, of course, or per year, depending on how you pay for it. But that means if it is a matter of life and death, they can airlift you right to Bangkok, keep you alive long enough to go in there and get your life or death surgery, and hopefully you're on the winning side of that. And that will all be covered by your insurance. And when it comes to insurance, I know a lot of people ask me, well, what if this happens to you? What if that happens to you? And I'm like, well, the same thing that if those things would have happened to me back in the United States. As I said, I couldn't afford the insurance I had. Couldn't even afford the deductibles. So, you know, death is just one of those things. Death is like the only inevitable thing every human being has in common. From the day we're born, we're headed toward the ultimate goal of dying. That's it. I'm not scared of it. It doesn't bother me. I don't wish to go anytime soon, but if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. So I don't know, it's up to you to decide whether you want health insurance, and if so, how much you want to pay for it. And everybody is going to be different. So choose wisely. Alright, so that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And again, be sure to check out all my links down below. If you get the feeling you want to donate to PayPal or Ko-Fi.com, I appreciate it, and those links are down below. My other channel is down below, and all kinds of other channels vlogging from this part of the world, they are down below, and you should check those out as well. Alright, from Siem Reap, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.